you've done any research into how freelancing works online, you've probably come across a site called Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr with 2 R's. Now, Fiverr is a marketplace for freelancers. It's hugely popular all over the world. And if you're a freelancer, you have a talent, you want to make some money, you can go on Fiverr and sell a gig. If you have an online business, you need to get something done, you need someone to write an article for you, you need someone to do graphic design for you, you can go on Fiverr and get it done for you. There will be a freelancer who is willing to do it for you. And the thing that makes Fiverr so unique is that all gigs are by default $5 each. And that's why it's called Fiverr, obviously. And there is an opportunity to add gigs on to your gig. So if you have a gig, you can create one gig and then you can have add-ons like a super fast delivery, which can cost another $5 each. And the thing about Fiverr is that it's widely popular with freelancers because if you have any talent whatsoever, whether you're a writer or you could do graphic design, you can make some extra money on the side. And if you have an online business, you could get anything done. And you won't only find professional stuff on Fiverr, you'll find wacky stuff like singing happy birthday in a special costume or doing a Donald Trump impersonation prank phone call to your friend. But because Fiverr was so popular and is so popular, other people have tried to capitalize on the same success and make their own Fiverr site, their own Fiverr alternative. And today I'll be going through them. Now, honestly, many of these Fiverr alternatives have died down over the years. I've seen a lot of sites go offline. They didn't have enough traffic. They didn't have enough visitors. They didn't have a marketing budget. But other people have succeeded and other sites are still online. And today I'm going to go through them. And there's actually a site called fiverrscript.com for around $99. You can get your own Fiverr script and use it to create your own Fiverr-like clone that will look exactly like Fiverr. And this is the demo of Fiverr script. As you can see, it's pretty similar to Fiverr itself. And this is just a demo of Fiverr script. So today I'm going to go through all the Fiverr alternatives that I know about. And these Fiverr alternatives are currently online. By the time you're watching the video, they might have gone offline. So I suggest you read through the actual blog post that I'll link to under the video. So let's begin with SEO Clerks. SEO Clerks, as its name implies, SEO has to do with online business. It's very similar to Fiverr, but it doesn't have to be $5 a gig. You can create any price for any gig you want. As you can see, anything related to an online business, from SEO to graphic design to writing. You can even sell ebooks or sell pre-written articles, or you can sell sponsored tweets or sponsored blog reviews. So if you're a freelancer and you have a skill that will be helpful to people with websites, or if you have a website, you need something done, I usually go to SEO Clerks. There is plenty of gigs on here, and it's a very popular site. It's probably the most popular Fiverr alternative. And it mostly relates to online business. As you can see, that's why it's called SEO Clerks. But SEO Clerks does have a few branch sites in other niches. For example, if you go down to the bottom over here, you'll see there's Code Clerks, Listing Doc, Pixel Clerks, and Word Clerks. So Code Clerks is for coding gigs. If you want to offer a coding service like PHP, you know how to code websites, you'll go to codeclerks.com. If you want to list something that doesn't have to do with an online business, so SEO Clerks created a site called Listing Doc for that. If you have something related to graphic design, you can go to Pixel Clerks. And Word Clerks is for gigs relating to content creation, like writing articles, writing ebooks, and stuff like that. And if you have an account by SEO Clerks, you'll automatically have an account at these other sites. For example, I can go to Listing Doc just by clicking this menu option over here, and you'll see I'll be automatically logged in without even having to create a separate account. And it's very useful if you want to find something specific, you're only looking for coding services, or you're only looking for content creation services, then these sites will make your search easier. As you can see, I'm logged in without even having to create an account. The next site I want to talk about is called 5Squid. Now, 5Squid, although it's loading slowly right now, 5Squid is a very popular Fiverr alternative, except that everything is in pounds. It's based in the UK. You can go to 5squid.com, and It's probably one of the most popular Fiverr alternatives. If you're more comfortable dealing with pounds, you might want to use that. As you can see right over here, buy, sell, request services from £5. And if you wait while it loads and wait until it loads, you'll see what I'm talking about. It looks very similar to Fiverr. It has similar types of gigs, except that everything is £5, and some might even be more than £5, but most of them are £5. As you can see, there are a few with £10. So if you're based in the UK and you're comfortable dealing with pounds, you might want to check out 5squid.com. The next site I want to talk about is called Fiverr. Now, as you can probably figure out by now, Fiverr is similar to Fiverr, except that all gigs are $4 each, not $5 each. Now, Fiverr doesn't get nearly as much traffic as Fiverr, but if you're a freelancer, you might face less competition. If you're looking to get something done, then I guess you can save a buck or two on a job. They're called micro jobs instead of gigs, but they're basically the same thing. And if you scroll through the marketplace over here, you'll see that a lot of gigs are $4. And a few years ago, Fiverr allowed you to charge up to $25 per gig. But by default, it's going to be $4. And you can also have your gig featured at the front. If you want to get more sales, you could pay $5, like this gig right over here. You could pay $5 for it to be featured at the front, and I'm not going to log in right now. I'm going to go to Envato Studio. That's another popular Fiverr alternative. But Envato Studio is mostly for professional gigs, such as graphic design, and anything really to do with an online business, app design, app development, WordPress, e-commerce. And because it's more for professional gigs, there is no $5 per gig thing by Envato Studio. And if you're a freelancer and you want to make real money with the real skill that you have, you don't want to accept $5 for your skills. You could go to Envato Studio, and you can charge a lot more per gig. A lot of people are charging $50 per gig, $100 per gig, or whatever they feel is appropriate. As you can see over here in the marketplace, $175 per gig, or whatever you feel is appropriate for your skills. Someone is even charging $475 per gig. And these are all, a lot of them have to do with coding and graphic design. And if you want to find real high quality stuff, probably at Fiverr you'll have a harder time finding high quality gigs because people are only getting paid $5. At Envato Studio, you'll probably have an easier time finding more professional work, more high quality work. As you can see, e-commerce, websites and programming, video and animation, online marketing, business card design. A lot is more professional. You won't find the crazy, wacky stuff on Envato Studio. The next slide I want to talk about is Genius or Genius. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it. It's an interesting Fiverr alternative because it is in Spanish and everything is in euros. So if you speak Spanish, or if you have a friend who only speaks Spanish and doesn't understand English, you'll probably go to Genius or Genius or whatever it's pronounced. And if you're a freelancer who speaks Spanish, you'll probably face less competition on Genius or Genius. And it's a very popular site. If you browse through it, most gigs are €5, but you can see a lot of the gigs are being bought, have reviews, etc. It's pretty popular in Spain or wherever else people are speaking Spanish. And finally, I want to talk about Zirk. Zirk has an interesting name, but it's also a popular Fiverr alternative, obviously nowhere near as popular as Fiverr itself. But you can sell micro jobs and freelance services from $3 to $200. And like Fiverr, you'll find professional stuff and wacky stuff. As you can see, people are using Zirk and people are leaving reviews, etc. So until now, I've talked about the Fiverr alternatives that I recommend that you might want to use. There are other Fiverr alternatives that have been created that are still online that I don't really recommend because they hardly get any traffic and you could hardly find any activity on these sites. But I do want to go through them shortly and quickly so that you just get a feel for these other Fiverr clones that are out there. So you can understand what I mean when I say that people are creating Fiverr clones. And probably You won't want to use these other sites because they don't get a lot of traffic, but they're interesting to know about. So the first one is called Fiverr Up, and all of these sites really they look like they're all using an outdated version of Fiverr script. And if you wait a second while it loads, you'll see what I mean. You can see the graphics, like this Facebook button over here. They're all outdated. Everything looks outdated at Fiverr Up. And at Fiverr Up, it's basically the same thing at Fiverr. It's probably just a Fiverr clone. But there's really no reason to sell on Fiverr Up instead of Fiverr, or to buy gigs of Fiverr Up instead of Fiverr. As a buyer, I've had at least one seller message me back, but the quality wasn't good enough. Oh yeah, you could find gigs over here, but it looks like these gigs were posted long ago and nobody's even using the site. There's another site called GigBucks. If you wait while it loads, I'm sorry for the slow internet. GigBucks is again similar. It looks like it's using some outdated version of Fiverr script. Everything looks outdated. The GigBucks does get some traffic, but again, I don't think it's worth it, and I think it's a worthy Fiverr alternative. And as you can see, all of these sites seem to be using the same Fiverr script that seems to be like from several years ago. They have these little gigs listed in such a manner, as you can see by the other ones I will talk about. By Tenor, it looks very similar to Tenor. It looks very similar to iPayer and Hubwit, which we will talk about in a second. So I hope you excuse the slow internet. I'm not sure why this is going on. Something with the Wi-Fi. But basically, these sites are called Tenor, which is for $10 a gig or less. DoJobsOnline.com, which used to be called My Cheap Jobs. GigDollars.com, again, as you can see, looks very similar to the previous site I showed you. They look to be using the same old Fiverr script. And then this Task Army, which seems to get some traffic, but not enough to be worthy. Hubwit, which seems to get almost no traffic at all. iPayer, not sure if I did that already. As you can see, okay, basically I'm not going to go through these because you can check them out yourself, and they're not really recommended, and the internet is taking pretty long. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.